I really am sick of fucking shades.
I am too. I was sick of them since Soul Reaver 2.
I was, at least in Soul Reaver 2, almost the entire time they're there, you can just ignore them, but here they are just retarded. And there's another one.
That's fantastic. Amazing flying flea man.
Stab. Here's the sad part. This makes me very upset. Oh, not this. This is whatever. But the fact that you can't knock these guys off the cliffs.
Yeah.
Because for some reason they put an invisible wall there. That makes me sad.
Yeah, that makes me sad as well.
My theory is that whenever there's a cliff, people need to be popped off it.
Fair enough.
Would at least increase my enjoyment of the game. Anyway, this place sucks. Notice this is where I came from, so I turn around. Yeah, not there. And, okay, well then we'll go down here, and, oh no, that's exactly where I was, so I must have missed it.
Yeah, it seems the camera just kind of panned the wrong way. They should have made the health talisman a little harder to find, and the right way to go, yeah, the right way to go a lot easier to find.
Yeah, kind of strange. That's happened to me pretty much every playthrough, too. I always end up missing this area for a little bit. That wasn't as disastrous as it's been before, though.
Now, Kain goes through the Stargate.
Yeah, only now it's all bloody.
Alright. All swirly roads.
Oh, sweet. Where are these guys? Okay, so what's that, Nightmare's Hammer? I believe this is the one that lets you bounce people off the ground while you're in the air, and you can sort of well, not infinitely, because you keep falling, but you can loop it for a little while.
Yeah.
Ding.
Finally, we get some audio clips from Kain stabbing guys.
Yeah.
He's been pretty quiet.
Either that or we've been pretty loud. And I have no idea where that guy went.
He went back to the Vampire Citadel.
Yeah, he actually left.
He went through the Stargate. Hey, alright, a giant statue. I wanted to see this again.
Everybody loves the giant statues. I think I actually try to, like, steamroll it. It doesn't quite... Like, you can do this, but I would not recommend doing so. It makes the fights... Oh, a pillar! Hi! It makes the fight, like, a lot harder than it needs to be. So if you hit twice and then jump, you can sort of just automatically dodge the attack and then just keep plowing into him. It's just a lot... Like I said, it makes it a lot harder.
Boy, I sure do love the cameras and pillars in this game.
Well, good, because that one pillar is just giving us a great view.
I'll say. It's all decorative and shit.
Oh, look at... What does that say on there? It's like an... Oh, no. I guess it doesn't have runes or anything. It's got nice molding on the side. That's really cool.
Yeah, I want one for my house.
Yeah, I like how it has 3 and then moves into a smaller bit. Fucking move the camera! Christ. Worst part is those guys are so fucking slow that if I'd actually, like, bothered to try to walk him all the way over there, it would have taken, like, an hour. And that's where we came from. So that's got to be the way to go.
You can also see by the marking on the ground that we are in the light shrine again.
Yeah. So this is sort of what I was talking about, where the game implies that all those bodies we use may have very well been put there by Kain, because, as you can see, like, you were sitting there going, where did all these bodies come from in the floor? And then the answer provided is, well, Kain decided to recklessly blow fucking 50 million people away inside this Citadel, so there's no real surprise that there's bodies here.
Question is, who rebuilt that Citadel if we're in the past? I mean, not the Citadel, the statue.
I think it came from a different different one of the cave thingies. Over here, you can see that Raziel's areas are accessible. You just can't use them because you can't activate any of the stuff to leave. Mikakiki. I think that's my favorite word they say.
So you can see on the symbol on the teleporter that we're headed to the Fire Shrine.
Now, when you're playing this level, make sure you are watching those symbols.
These statues were singularly inanimate. I knew better than to assume they would always remain so.
That is such a great line. But, now, I personally don't watch the symbols on the one you're coming from. I always watch the one on the one you just got. Sorry, the one you just came from, not the one you're going to. Because it's kind of useless to remember you're in the Fire Shrine while you're in there. Always look and say, okay, I just came from the Light Shrine. That way you don't end up getting lost inside this giant circular fucking temple that all looks the same and heading back to the Light Shrine.
Yeah. They could have, I don't know. It would have been nice if they had included something like that when you were playing as Raziel.
That would have made the game a lot faster, at least.
Yeah.
What the hell am I attached to?
The camera.
Yeah, forget it. Who cares?
The wiggity
and a lucky shot from the fucking bleachers. Look at that.
Yeah, from the bleachers.
Alright, so this is water, which we haven't even seen yet. And they do this for both chapters, if I remember correctly. Kain ends up going to the newest shrines before Raziel does. But, yeah, so remember that when you do this, that when you head this way, you want to make sure you're not going back to light. It's pretty common, and I swear most people who end up playing this game end up telling the same story, where they're like, oh, I played as Kain, and fuck, I was stuck in that vampire temple for 8 hours, because I kept going back and forth to the same rooms.
Yeah. Which, unfortunately, doesn't speak to the difficulty, but rather just really sad level design.
Yeah, it kinda does. That and bad camera work, because there's a lot of spots where you're actually... where you are supposed to go is not clearly displayed. The first one's not as bad as the second one. The second one is where a lot of people get lost, because it becomes sort of arbitrary in which direction you're going.
Yeah. And the utter lack of giving the player control over the camera doesn't help matters at all either.
That never helps matters. Oh look, more statues. Yay.
These statues were also singularly inanimate.
I just love that line, because he's like, oh, I knew they're not gonna... I know they're gonna come to life, and I'm gonna have to kill them. At least he has prescience about this crap.
I've been in 2 other video games. I know the score.
Fourth wall, broken.
It seems a little ridiculous for vampires to have a water shrine. Oh wait, that would be before they would have created it before they all got cursed.
Yeah, exactly. Although the whole purpose of these shrines seems sort of ridiculous, considering the fact that they're only built to serve a spectral reaver that won't exist for thousands. They must have had a lot of money back then, just to waste.
Or maybe they...
That or some really unflinching faith. That's probably more likely.
Or hey, with the curse of impotent immortality, they lost.
What
all
else are you
interest.
gonna do?
Exactly. They lost all interest in sex, so they had nothing else to going for them.
Hey, so None of you look very hot anymore. You guys want to go build like a series of 8 buildings in the middle of nowhere?
Why? Someone might need it someday.
Okay. Sure. Sounds fun.
Hey, it worked for the Egyptians.
Those were slaves. That's a different, totally different.